It was a dark and stormy session. Hi everyone and welcome to Murder by Murder, our murder mystery Agatha Christie style game. My name is Philip and I'm the parlor master on account of the kinds of rooms that often show up in murder mysteries like these. Interestingly though, there's no, I don't think there's a parlor in this house. If you look at the plans of this house, there's not even a parlor. So, whoops. I guess I should be called the library master, or the Zeus master.
Did you do that intentionally?
No, I didn't. I'm just dumb. How are you guys doing tonight? How's everyone doing?
Good.
Rocking and rolling. I haven't been talking to you at all, so this is like the first time we're all seeing each other. I don't know if everyone out there knows how Zoom works. It's that whenever you're about to go on Twitch, that's when the Zoom starts. Yes?
Parlor is the same as sitting room, so
that is pretty darn true. That is, I'll kind of go with that, I suppose. Well, yeah. So we're gonna get into this here in just in a few moments. We may have our full complement tonight, or we may just be here with this group. We'll sort of see how things progress. Last time, though, something finally happened. A long-awaited event in this murder mystery game. But just like at Agatha Christie, we were actually just okay. So illusion over. We do talk on Zoom before these games start streaming. And we were chatting about how, basically about how so in these Agatha Christie movies, it will go so long before someone's murdered. And the whole time you're just like, well, where's the biggest star in this movie to either be the murderer or the victim? So basically, for this one, we finally got to the murder after oh so many sessions. Well, 3. It really wasn't that many. But it's kind of a slower burn thing, so we were ready. I'm also just going to say something might pop up here. I forgot to sort of open these earlier. These might cover for a second. Ooh, handy. Only on Twitch are these seen. These are the floor plans. If anyone would like to, you can head over to our Discord. And I think if I do this, you'll get a link to our Discord among other things. Yeah, so go to our Discord. If you go to the downloads section, I'm like a real person with a computer. You can actually look at those floor plans if you care to follow along for the various mysteries, because I do always love in a lot of the Agatha Christie books, she would draw little maps of the houses, just so you could picture so from the Colonel's room, he couldn't even see into the library. So that's the vibe of those. In our previous sessions, a group of individuals were invited to Gin Island, off the south coast of Devon, to a house called Corse Court. They were the guests of the Marquess of Plymouth, Lord Joseph Corse. His children were there. His daughter Alicia, his daughter Vivian, his daughter Gladys, not Gloria, and his daughter Joseph, called Lord Joey, as well as his wife, the Marchioness.
Son. It's a daughter.
Oh yes, his son, Lord Joey, his youngest child, Lord Joey. To differentiate
that's what they want to be called now. I mean,
sure,
not opposed, but
So let's see. You all were present as guests, as well as a man named Lord Reginald Huntington Smythe, who may join us shortly, and a man named Tom Slickett, a solicitor with a very grumpy attitude. A serious storm was coming upon Devon. You guys made it over to dinner, had some odd interactions with various people. In a cocktail hour before dinner started, Dr. Austin Green, you notice some lights coming up the road, and in the harsh storm, a car flipped over. You rushed out of the car, only to find Lord Corse's granddaughter, Odette Fuller, amidst the wreckage. Apparently she had fallen in the water, crossing even later than those of you who had sort of a rough crossing down to the island of Jin Island, and you rushed her inside to recuperate. Her mother was incredibly upset that she was there. She fainted upon her arrival. Her uncle, who's her age, Lord Joey, was very he apparently had invited her to this, maybe because he knew that Sybil and Reginald, a couple of his friends, were going to be there. Just figured it would be a fun family time. She came against her mother's wishes. She was carried up, and then her grandfather showed up and said, well, she wasn't invited, so who cares, it's time for dinner. What followed was not a nice dinner. You guys seemed, I'm also just going to go out and say, I think Lord Corse is a cool guy, and you all are just so mean about him and think he's, so terrible. I don't get it. But many of you were like, oh my god, get this guy murdered already. We won't even investigate his murder. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be honest, when I heard that, on the outside, I just kept talking, but on the inside, I was like, ooh, boy, because what's about to happen if they don't investigate what's the game at all? What are we playing, Gosford Park? Because Gosford Park's
Possibly.
The Gosford Park was described by Robert Altman as not a whodunit, but a who cares whodunit.
Philip, if you want us to like a character, you probably shouldn't have him make fun of his daughter's dead husband in front of us at dinner.
Dead fiance.
Have
She
made
never
it
even got
less
married to the guy.
loathsome.
Right, that's true.
She was such a bad daughter. The guy died before he married her. Anyway, under mysterious circumstances. So, Lord Corse, when hearing a lot of awkward conversations happen, Slicket stormed away for the rest of you. Lord Corse, then hearing talk of a seance, insisted you hold a seance that night, Immortal Ivan, who's a stage performer, so that you could channel the ghost of his second daughter Vivian's dead fiance. When you explained that couldn't be done, but then you also explained that the Baroness Sophia Esterhaus's husband Laszlo was still connected to her because of the strength of their bonds. The old man was like, then your love was not real love, daughter, because I'm a real mean guy. So...
Good boy.
Also, I guess it should be noted that Gladys did not attend this seance. She slipped away, as did Reginald. For a reason that none of you are aware of, but is a good reason.
Does he have a note from his parents?
Did he? I'm not sure if did he say that to you guys in the game? Did he explain why?
No.
Okay, cool. All right. So in any case, while you were off, the camera, because we have a rule on this game. I should mention this. We do have a rule in this game that we kind of try to, except for when I'm explicitly breaking the rule, we try not to show characters on their own. Any character, like we like to have, not even an NPC, whatever. We like to have at least two people there to corroborate events to some degree, like a real murder mystery, except for the moments when we violate that little rule. So we did notice that when Reginald was off on his own, he did encounter Slicket up on the third floor in the Grand Gallery. Being a weirdo, he also encountered Gladys on the second floor in the study. Later on, the seance went off. Immortal Ivan, you sort of did your spiel. It was very impressive, but you refused to sort of do the horrible old man's bidding, and as such, you never said Vivian's fiance was present. Everyone then went to bed, kind of in a sour mood around sort of 10:30. Sybil and the doctor went up and checked on Odette. Sybil got out of her that Odette was here, or she came here, but she was supposed to be spending time with her beau, one Does anybody write this stuff down? This is not a test. I'm just
Brian.
curious. Brian McDowell.
Brian
Yes, that's
something.
right. Brian McDowell. She was with Brian McDowell. She was meant to be with Brian McDowell. That seemed to be what her mother was hoping for. She doesn't seem to care for him much, so instead she came here, then fell in the water, and things went south. At this point, the last thing we saw was one of those. Oh, and we did introduce Margaret Circle, the very round maid. Her name is Margaret Circle. Can't make this stuff up, folks.
Except you literally did.
You really did.
Nope, can't. Guys, you can't make this stuff up.
Stranger than fiction.
Guys, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction, and sometimes, just sometimes, the fiction is stranger than the truth.
I don't think that ever
Anyway,
happens.
I guess one other thing to mention, there was another little mystery that's going on here at the house. Every single room is named after a Greek deity. And each of these rooms has a sort of carving or statue of the deity in question in. However, when Sybil found herself in a room called Nemesis, she discovered no statue, an empty plinth that was missing its statue, which she found kind of odd. She told this both to Gladys, she only told this to Alicia. There was some talk of Gladys was present.
No, there were 2 people I told.
You eventually told everyone, but
No, I mean, like, someone escorted me to my room, and I pointed out there was no statue, and then I went into Alicia's room and I asked about the statue.
indeed, Gladys took you to your room. I'm not sure. I think you did. I think that Gladys looked over at the empty thing and then left, and then you were like, "Oh, weird. There's no statue," and you saw statues in other rooms. But maybe you guys talked about it then as well. In any case, when Sybil returned to her room, the plinth was no longer empty. Instead, upon it was a very strange, grotesque carving. The last thing we saw in our last session also breaks the rules. Actually, no, it doesn't, because there's 0 living characters. We did see the corpse, of course, lying on the rocks in the early morning light. So we will now begin today's session the next morning. And to do this, I go, as always, to the map.
So is it fine if my character always wakes up at 6 a.m. sharp? Being the neat and organized person that I am.
I think that is perfectly fine. So the Dr. Gordon wakes up at 6 a.m. Are there any other I would imagine among Sybil and Immortal Eye that neither of you would be early risers. Baroness Sophia, are you? So Dr. Gordon, you were then awake. Fairly you awake and it's still raining outside and it's actually thundering pretty serious. The storm has not abated. Is there anything, or actually, well, I'm just describing this for anyone who is awake. You're in the room Poseidon, right, Immortal Ivan?
Yes.
Great.
Ares room. Yes, God of War.
Okay. Around 6:15 in the morning. Sybil, Baroness, not Baroness, Sybil and Dr. Gordon, you both hear loud doors slamming and the sounds of feet sort of running and some footsteps. So Dr. Gordon, you're already awake. Sybil, this would awaken you.
All right.
Sybil would. I mean, I guess she'd put on a robe of some kind to not look.
Indecent, understandable.
Yeah.
Yep. Improper.
All right.
And she'd go check it out.
Okay,
Yeah, I'll
Doctor,
be
will you
outside
also
with a
step
jacket.
out when you
Yeah,
hear a
with
clamor?
light jacket. Yeah.
Okay. Then we will say that, let's see, Doctor, you're on the first floor, Sybil, you're on the second. So Dr. Gordon, as you step out onto the first floor, you hear some voices sort of calling, and actually someone is like running the sort of servants entrance there on the first floor landing. You see it's kind of like that, like there's that room up at the top, the servant entrance. That door is open, and you hear some footsteps like inside of it. You also hear someone calling kind of from up higher in the house. And we will sort of say that you and Sybil, kind of having stepped out there, sort of looking down, you can see one another from sort of, the steps.
She's
there.
Above me. I see.
Because she's a level above you. So you see one another, and you're hearing sort of like the footmen sort of running around. And actually a footman sort of noticing you, kind of gives you just a look and just kind of closes that door into the servants' quarters.
All right. Huh. So I guess that's just their normal early morning duties, I guess. So.
Bustle and bustle.
I guess.
Why don't you make an
morning
intuition roll on that, actually, Dr. Gordon?
All right, intuition.
Sybil, why don't you do the same?
I believe. D6. 3.
Yep.
I'm only
normal.
guessing
Hustle and bustle, baby.
I don't know how the upper
4.
class does things.
So, that is, just so you understand, that's like a D-. So it's not a passing grade.
So I have to retake.
You have to redo this whole. We have to restart the game.
Mm.
Unless you spend one. If you care on
Get
this,
some extra
you could spend
credit.
an aha point, and you would succeed. But in this game, it's very simple. It's kind of a binary pass-fail thing. You're just always looking for a 5. They have different
Yeah,
size dice.
because I don't feel like I'm using them enough anyway, so I will use a point.
I would say, yeah, you
7.
a 7. Well, no, you do. A point means you just add 1. So you add a 4 is the perfect thing to run. So.
Okay, so then yeah.
So deduct 1 of your aha points. You all start with 3 once again. So you deduct 1, but you have succeeded. Something is very wrong.
Well, so last night Sybil would have kind of inspected that statue, and she found nothing like there's no like note at the bottom or anything like that.
There was no note or anything. Yeah, I should have told you more about that stuff or checked with you. But yeah, you if you just kind of did a cursory look, no, you did not find any.
I mean, she would have
anything.
done more than a cursory look. She would have
Yeah.
fucking it, done everything but tear it apart.
Yeah,
but if there was no like weird thing on it, then she, I guess, would probably just try to get dressed quickly and then go outside to go see what's going on.
So basically, you've come out, you've heard this, you go back in to kind of get dressed a little more quickly. Tell you what, do a knowledge roll for me, Sybil.
This is at 6 a.m.?
This is 6:15 by now. Yeah.
More or less.
6.
Nice.
That's a B plus. The 100%.
Technically, it would only be like a C, and it's that by having higher dice, you can get better grades.
No, because I can only roll a 6, so it's
I know,
6 out of 6. So it's 100%.
Because your maximum aptitude, your the best we could hope for with you on a D6 thing is that you'd be a C student.
But I have a doctor's note, so it's okay.
That's no one's saying it's not okay. We're just saying we're the grade is the grade. You passed the course. It's fine. You're taking everything
Top of the
past
class.
scale. Okay. Well, I mean.
Top of the class.
Anyway, Sybil, you did notice there were. I'll say, you noticed a couple of like scratch marks on the plinth, almost as if implying that this thing's really heavy. Like jostling it around, or maybe it was the other one. But yeah, so that's all you sort of noticed. But
okay.
As you and the doctor are sort of stepping out, I will say that Ivan, is Ivan? Tell you what, Ivan and Baroness, let's just make you guys have luck rolls for this, because I'm genuinely not sure you would have
Luck.
awoken.
My luck is D6, right?
It is whatever it says.
Oh, a
in
6.
Luck. It's whatever it says in the luck box.
It's a 3.
Yours
6
is a
for me.
D8.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, just do you have your sheet open?
I did a second ago. I just accidentally closed it.
Yeah, it's just it's up at the top. It says luck next to your name.
Okay. It's a 7.
Okay, so as it happens, both of you kind of just the right sort of hustle and bustle. So while the doctor and Sybil are now already sort of out in sort of, wrapped in clothing, either of you could step out if you wanted to of your room, because you do hear a clamor.
Have the chambermaid or whoever the help set fire in the room?
No
started
one
the
has
fire
come
in the
around
room?
to do that yet, no.
So it's cold. It's cold as heck.
It's cold. It's cold as heck.
That's very unpleasant. Okay, I'll put on my dressing gown. And I'll go with it. What is going on at this ungodly hour? What kind of house is this?
Godly.
You
Well,
notice...
I'm not in a military, young man. I do not have to wake up at the crack
That
of
was out of
dawn.
character. You don't hear me, I don't hear you.
A footman comes down from the 3rd floor. So Sybil, he's sort of passing you, sort of seeing you. He kind of just nods and kind of goes down to the 2nd floor, seeing the Baroness and Dr. Gordon. At this point, I will also say that Alicia has come out of her room, come out of Athena, sort of with a, just like what is the meaning of all of this hubbub. Vivian.
Ivan would be alone.
Vivian is in Athena. So what's that?
Ivan would take a little while because he has to put his makeup back on.
Oh, right, yeah. Ivan.
So
would be fine.
it's just the performance nonstop all weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Joey,
that's just who he is.
Joey's
Well,
looking
I mean, he
up,
doesn't
so,
think anything's wrong.
So yes, you do notice that
Not a
Vivian
face,
is kind of
Sybil.
stepping out and
That's
sort of
who I
saying,
am.
"What is the meaning of this?" The footman who ran past you, Sybil, it has now run around and he is moving down the ladies' hallway, heading towards the Zeus room. So he moves kind of Baroness. He kind of passes you as you sort of now come out from Demeter. So at this point, we'll say that the Doctor, Baroness, and Vivian are all sort of standing around where it says landing on the 1st floor. Sybil, have you gone down to them, or what are you up to?
Yeah, she would have followed where most of the commotion is
So
kind
Sybil's
of.
kind of come down there. This guy is now kind of moved around the thing, and he's knocking on the door into the Zeus bedroom. After a few moments, he opens it and goes in. You still hear a lot of footsteps in the servants' hallway behind you, like they're moving sort of more quickly or whatever. You hear voices just saying, like, everyone go back downstairs now. All of you back downstairs. That sort of stuff.
They're saying that to the footmen and servants, or to us?
It sounds to you. No roll would be required for this. I think you guys can recognize these sort of the voices by this point. It seems that the butler is basically the butler Norman is telling everyone to go downstairs. Of the servants,
Everyone?
like all of you
Okay.
get downstairs now.
I guess Sybil would try to pop her head into the servant's quarter and the one that she's closest to, I guess.
It's that. It's
And-
just.
and-
It's yeah. There's like a door like right there on the landing, so you can.
Yeah, she would have popped her head in and I guess look for Margaret. Margaret Circle.
Oh, okay. So it's not a quarters. It's a hallway. They have there's basically like a servant's.
Okay, well she
hallway.
would have popped her head into there.
So
yeah.
as you sort of slide that door, there's no the handle's kind of hidden, so it's unobtrusive. The whole invisible servants thing. You sort of pull it, and you actually see Norman spinning around the butler. He is not dressed. He's also unshaven, so he's got that kind of 5 o'clock shadow. He sort of says,
5 a.m. shadow.
5 a.m. shadow. Yeah, exactly. He's like, there's please, sorry for the clamor. You can certainly go back to sleep if you'd like. He's kind of covering up his own bathrobe as if he's embarrassed.
It's you don't I won't be going back to sleep. It's fine, but what is all the commotion?
I would not comment spuriously on such things. You now hear a sort of a scream from the room of Zeus.
Run in there. Wait. So a scream, like a pearl clutching scream like that, or like a real scream?
Like a oh my.
All right, I
But-
guess she will
I mean,
Oh,
end the
goodness, what
conversation
is
and go
going
in
on?
there.
it sounds earnestly. So you guys have heard that Doctor and Baroness. You kind of hear Baroness. That's the room at the far end of the hall.
At that sound, Ivan sticks his head
I
out the
rush
door.
that way. It's
Understood.
like,
So Ivan, and I don't know if any of you are looking at the map now. So Ivan, you're kind of like you have to go
I
like
am.
a full like you hear the thing, you'll have to come out. You'd have to make like a full like U-turn horseshoe shape to get from your room. Oh, actually, no, Poseidon, you don't have to do the full way. Basically, as you guys all sort of start moving towards that room, a footman is coming out, and in fact, Norman the butler is sort of following. The butler says, "What are you doing? Why are you?" And he's like, "I'm sorry, sir. I told her already. I thought she should be made aware." And he sees all of you, and just the footman's like, "Oh," and he starts like kind of just like trying to move past you all. And Norman's like gesturing him for him to go past as well.
Sybil would go into the room that had the scream.
Okay. In her bed, you see the Marchioness. She's wearing her like various like nightgown things. Her face is covered in some sort of like cream or some thing, and she's just oh, please forgive me. I didn't mean to make so much noise. Vivian is kind of coming and saying, "Mother, what is wrong? What's going on? Could you all please give us a moment?" She's kind of asking you guys to leave her mother's bedroom. You don't see Lord Corse in there, Sybil. Baroness, you're probably also up to the front. Dr. Green, did you also rush into this room?
I would have went to check to see if there was an emergency, but if she said that, just give a moment, I was like, okay, I might as well just get dressed now.
Oh, okay, so you go back to Ares, gotcha. Baroness and Sybil, you're kind of Vivian's asking you to leave. Gladys is coming out of her room, and basically now people are beginning to sort of stir. A lot of people are coming down. You also hear footsteps. Well, maybe you wouldn't hear this, but basically Alicia is now coming down from upstairs as well. To investigate. She's wrapped up. Like, what's the matter? What's wrong?
I don't know, my darling, my dear. Strange goings on in this house. Is this normal?
No,
We always.
I assure you, the screams in the morning and the footmen running around is not normal. Is everyone all right? Is everyone? Where's Vivian?
Oh,
Vivian
is
just
in
went
there
inside.
Oh,
with your mom, your mother.
Let me. She sort of knocks and walks in. Ivan, I guess at this point, yeah, you're sort of coming around. You see the Baroness.
What is the meaning of this commotion?
No one's been able to give us any information yet, Mr. Immortal.
It is much. Please, just I.
I like the idea that you're like you've got like a like you're so wrapped up in a thing to limit makeup and such. Yeah.
Yeah. That is very unfortunate. Has anyone heard anything at all?
Are you dressed up in a black bedsheet that sort of looks like a cape with a?
It's like a black robe. It's like a bathrobe, but it's all
Oh my
black
goodness!
with like a
my
red
collars.
thing,
Oh,
collar poofed out.
Even
Yeah.
Reginald has kind of come out here as well. And he's like, "What time is it?"
At this point, Baroness is rushing back to her room because she's just like improperly dressed in the company of gentlemen. It's just not
It is
done.
very easy to do so as you are very close to this bedroom. So no worries. But after a few moments, like Alicia sort of steps out. So basically, Sybil and Ivan, and we'll say Lord Reginald's there, but just kind of yawning. Baroness.
Does this house has the thingies that you can pull to summon the?
It does. Yes.
Okay, I'm starting yanking.
So basically, you walk in, you see her pulling that as her door closes. Sybil and Ivan and Lord Reginald, Alicia sort of steps up. Gladys is now with you, kind of, like asking what's going on. And Alicia says, so there appears to have been, Doctor, you can be sort of coming back at this point, having gotten dressed.
A little bit dressed, yeah.
She's
got
yes.
pants
I don't.
Died? Who died?
It appears Mr. Slickett was killed last night.
Fucking what, Philip?
Philip?
I'm gonna have to go and find Lord Course at this rate and kill him my goddamn self.
Yeah, I'm
Do you
with
say that?
No, no. I'm saying it to you, Philip.
Mr. Slickett,
Excuse me? How?
I don't know. The footman just told Muff, that solicitor. Please excuse me. I think perhaps we should all either go to our rooms, or perhaps, if you're awake, we can go down to the sitting room, or oh dear, this is
I guess Sybil, where was the body found? If you don't mind.
I don't know. I need to go check on Odette, and she's just kind of like moving. I'm sorry. And she kind of moves past, brushing past you, Doctor.
Dr. Gordon.
This is important. Yeah.
I assume you would be checking,
Of course.
examining the body.
Yes, I'm getting my goods. Take my doctor's bag, and okay. None of these people, none of the family knows where the body is. I'll just fetch one of the butler.
The
Norman.
butler who's there, he's like, yes. I do suppose, with the weather
Let me
like
see it.
this, it's unlikely we'll be able to get anyone from Plymouth. So yes, perhaps you should take a look. I have not been there myself. It's this way, Doctor.
All right.
So Norman will lead you. Now, is anyone going with them? Sybil and Ivan begin to follow. Baroness, you're still getting dressed.
I need a mage to
Ivan, are you
to
going
my
to be okay
corsets and
outside?
stuff.
A mage will come. What's
A
that?
mage?
A maid.
Maid.
Sybil is just asking, Ivan, are you going to be okay coming outside, or will the sun harm your skin?
Outside.
I've long since. It's
There
fine.
is no sun.
It will be fine.
As long as
do you
you're
have
sure. It's a
anemia?
good thing we have a doctor here on premises to
We're
help
not-
you.
No, we're not going
Yeah,
outside,
cool.
I don't believe. A footman leads you up through the second floor to the third floor. An area that I don't think, you guys haven't really gone up to this area yet. So you come to a landing on the third floor. As you step up, there's a door to your right. Sort of like a nice, heavy door. Looks kind of, and it has Hades emblazoned on it. There is a servant's entrance directly ahead of you, another one of those like half hidden doors. Yeah, sorry, Ka, go ahead.
No, I was just saying appropriate.
Yeah.
The dead person in Hades.
So Hades, he turns left and leads you down a narrow hallway, sort of the south part of the room. He then sort of turns left again and then right, and you see these two large doors
Okay.
leading into the grand gallery that stands
Okay.
open.
All right. Open it up.
As you
Where
enter
is
this
this?
room, you see the body of Tom Slickett. There is a knife plunged about here
Into his neck, or
into kind of like into high sort of clavicle,
Right.
like just over the clavicle.
All right. Left side or right side? Hard side or non-hard side?
It is
Heart's on the left side of your body, if you don't know. Yeah,
He's just
dude.
pulling out a dummy he has ready for this.
it's right here. So that's on his
Okay.
Show
on
us on
his
the doll
right
where he
side.
murdered you.
On his
All
right
right.
side.
Okay. Still a little bit
Um,
under the
Knife sort of in. He is not wearing. He's wearing just like shirt sleeves. His shirt is like, it seems like kind of wet. And he's got various like his hands seem a little like. Well, actually, Doctor, if you're looking the body over, why don't
Yes,
you first
I'll
just
do
make
my
a normal
medical
knowledge roll
check. All right.
But you
My
see that
medical
he's
knowledge?
this is medical knowledge. Also make a give me both a medical knowledge and then give me a normal knowledge roll.
Okay.
But
Here's medical knowledge.
yeah,
Continue.
but he's
If you
in
will,
shirt sleeves. He's just like the kind of whatever tuxedo pants, just a white shirt.
Okay.
His hair's all unkempt and he looks like he's pretty like
You said the shirt looked wet, or no?
It looks like not like wet, but like like as if it had like it's like wrinkled, rumpled, as if it had been in water or in exposed to some rain or something.
Medical knowledge double pass and pass the knowledge check. So do I
Great.
get 4? Now I'm up to 4 aha points. Is there a cap or is there just build up?
No, you add one more aha point. Yes,
Alright,
there,
cool.
so it always resets to 3, so you can have way
Now
more
I
in
have
a
4.
single session.
Cool.
All right. He is definitely
All right. Check pulse, gauge body temperature, approximate time of death. That's a little hard considering the temperature.
temperature's hard. You will say that you estimate his limbs are not fully rigor mortis yet.
Mm.
They're close, so you don't think he was killed. You think he was maybe killed around like between maybe midnight and 2.
Are you gonna ask the
Upon seeing
servants
this,
where they
Ivan
found it?
says, I have to get some air, please excuse me. And he's gonna walk outside to get sea air a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you'll have to go all the way downstairs in that case because you're in a. Yeah, so you are there's a win. Actually, no, there's a window there right next to this. You kind of open and
Yeah, I'll
just
do that.
breathe
Within
deeply
this
out on the little
room.
landing outside of the Grand Gallery. Dr. Gordon, you're fairly confident. You'd need to do like a full like autopsy or whatever, but a lot of blood is around the wound. You're fairly confident that the stab wound, he was bleeding while alive. So you would need to do you'd have to do an investigation, but you think he was probably killed by this wound to the kind of like just under the
Alright.
jugular.
Is there
So-
like blood from the mouth, which means he, coughed up some blood? So that
Yes,
he's
definitely some
still
blood
alive?
on the mouth
Right,
and splatter around him a bit as well. Sybil?
Okay.
Is the area kind of around him, like, is there like blood like on the floor and stuff? Does it look like he died here? Does it look like he was kind of placed
Why
here?
don't
I guess.
you also do a knowledge check on that to see if you guys get any stuff? But basically, So Doc, you would suspect he died.
I'm regretting putting it all into wisdom or
a few
intuition.
hours there. It's this is just to see.
Oh, this is such a good die. I love
Wonderful.
this die.
Congratulations. You look around him. You do not see. He looks like he. You don't see like the blood hasn't even been like moved that much. So you suspect that he died where he fell. You think he was killed here.
There's a move here, huh?
You also notice that in his hand there is a scrap of he'd like been holding some paper, so there's like a scrap of paper in his hand. You see a couple other little torn little bits of paper in the pooled blood around him.
Then I guess Sybil would kind of crouch down up close and say, Doctor, if you don't mind, I'm just going to take this.
I mean, sure. Wow, you're surprisingly calm about this.
I read a lot. And she will open.
Explains it completely. I mean, yeah, I read a lot, so dead bodies don't do anything.
If you pull
From the window, you
paper
hear.
out, as you sort of pull this paper out of his hand, you find it is a frustratingly small amount of paper, just like a little corner basically. There's nothing really written on it, but it is a very it's like a pretty thick cream colored paper. Make another knowledge roll, Sybil.
Blank.
Mm-hmm. It's like
5.
barely a sliver. It's like that much, It's just like from a corner.
Yeah, I got a 5. Tell me what I see.
I'll tell you what you see. There is an interesting thing about this paper as you look at it. You wouldn't swear it. Actually, I'm gonna text you this privately.
All right.
Doctor, in the meantime, yes. Any other rolls you want to make? But yeah, I would say you definitely think he was stabbed there. You don't see many signs of the body having been tampered with. The only place the blood has been messed up is around the hand that Sybil's now pulling this out of, but the blood seemed to have been somewhat. So like the only place anyone might have touched him after he died was in this part of his hand.
Are there any like footprints with blood or palm prints or anything?
There are no bloody footprints near the body or palm prints.
Oh. How about the knife? Does the knife look like it came from the kitchen or something? I would have to pull it out in order to see it, but can I just recognize it from the handle?
I mean, you could see the handle.
The knife handle appears to be like high quality, sort of like pearl inlay. It's very fancy.
It's not the same.
Probably wouldn't be.
It's not the same
knife.
stuff we use during dinner, right?
It does not remind you of the knives you used during dinner.
Oh, all right.
Are there any servants coming by me in the hall?
Yeah, sure. We'll say a couple of servants have sort of come up here, like peeking around, or Norman's like, I'm sure that no, you don't need to be here at all. He's kind of trying to get them away. They're like, no, the Marchioness wanted us to find out what was happening. Ivan, he sort of turns to you, like, are you quite all right, sir?
Yes. Where is that? Where is the lord of the house?
Yes,
Does he know of this?
You should have heard something, right?
He
What's
kind of
going
like,
on?
he kind of squares his shoulders a bit and says, I suppose I should go and speak with him. He goes towards the door marked Hades, kind of giving you like an odd look. Knocks a few times.
I thought they were in the place marked, or is it past that?
No, they're in the place called the
There.
Grand Gallery. So Hades is on the northern part of the house. Do you have the... Tell you what, I will pull up... I'm not going to share screen, but do you have Twitch up right now?
I do, yeah.
Here. I'm just going to put this over the Twitch thing. So...
Streaming to Twitch and we're using that to
yeah,
pass
just you guys look at the
information.
Twitch. So basically, you guys came up this way. You saw the door to Hades, but
Okay.
instead you walked around here. You're barfing out a window like there. The body's in here. So now the butler has walked here, and if you're following him, or if you've followed halfway, you see that he's knocking on this door to Hades. And
What
seemingly
corner of the
receiving.
room is it in? I don't have Twitch open.
That's an
Chat.
interesting
You
place
did what,
in
sorry?
the servants' floor.
What corner of the room is it in? Is it the southwest or?
Of the Grand Gallery.
Yeah.
It's not really in the corner. It's kind of like in the center of the room, a little closer to the entrance door. So here to put it into. Oh, you don't have Twitch. Never mind. Do you have the image? Do you have the picture?
Yeah, I have the picture.
The G of Gallery, around there.
Oh, there.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh,
As he's going to talk to the lord of the house, I'm using this time to slip up toward Zeus, see if I can get a word with the Marchioness.
Understood. All right, you head down to Zeus. Understood. I'll catch up with you there in a moment then. Meanwhile, Baroness, you can be kind of coming out of your room. You see Vivian leaving the room of her mother. So you see her in the hallway, and Vivian just says, "Oh dear, yes, it are you all right, Baroness?"
oh, yes, I'm fine under the circumstances. But what is happening? What is all this hubbub about?
There appears to have been a death.
Oh,
Do you know
no.
Mr. Slickett?
Yeah, strange little man.
Yes, he's.
What happened to him? Oh, he was probably apoplexy. He did not look well.
I am not entirely certain, but it was described as he was killed.
Oh
Oh
my
dear,
God.
she kind of like.
Oh,
you
I
know-
have to sit down.
Ivan, actually, you kind of come around the corner. You
I'll
see
be there
Vivian
right in
here.
time to catch her.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Ivan. We'll make a luck roll.
And I'm probably kind of
Alright,
heavy,
yeah.
so
Ivan, make a
you
luck
better
roll.
be strong.
We'll see how this goes.
A 6!
Ivan,
Hey!
you were there
Slide
right in
Ivan
time to
there.
catch.
Ivan is strong.
Ivan
He's
just
a first
aha,
one, but
you
he's
catch her,
strong.
and kind of as you do that, Vivian goes, "Oh, I thought you were an apparition coming out of the darkened hallway. I'm so glad you were
I
here.
am an apparition, but I'm here for good.
Okay, well, this seems kind
Offended
of
ghost?
grisly given the circumstances, since someone
Yes,
died. But
I
okay.
apologize.
Yes,
I
apologize. Yes,
You're
I
right, that was
immediately regret
inappropriate.
this joke. So she just kind of, are you all right, Baroness?
Yes. I just need to sit down. Oh, and then can I just like stumble towards the study or something? It's
Sure.
just, like,
Easily to go into the study. You can open the study.
and then just like there is a couch or something there.
Totally.
I'm sure I'm just gonna, just sit down there and then I pull out a little silver box from the folds of my clothes or purse or whatever, and I take out a little white pill and put it under my tongue and say, "Oh, just give me a minute, please."
Understood.
That'd be fine.
Vivian says, of course, and she kind of nods to you, Ivan, and she heads back up to Athena, her room. Ivan, so the Baroness is in there saying she needs a minute. Are you going to go into Zeus?
Well, yes, I should leave her to take her time.
Understood. Just writing a secret message to someone. None of you worry. All right. I just sent a secret message to somebody. But if you didn't get one, it doesn't mean I don't value you. It just means I didn't send you a secret
Yeah, it
message
does.
this time. Also, it means I do not value you. I combo you. Combo menu, value menu. Guys, listen, we're all just having some
come
fun
on.
here. The point is,
I'm not anymore.
Anyway, I'm gonna tell the footman, just take Mr. Slickett here to some place with the control of weather. Like, do you have a catacomb or something? A basement? A cellar? A wine cellar? of some
catacomb?
sort?
we do have a wine cellar. You want us to take the body to the wine cellar?
So it doesn't decompose in this sort of weather.
Don't the authorities need to?
Doctor, yes, shouldn't we leave it for the police?
I mean, what police? I look at.
No,
I look
he's
Well,
at
they
right.
should be here eventually.
They will be here eventually, but I suppose that it
We need
might
to keep the body safe somewhere.
Yes, perhaps you're right that the body should not. Very well. Yes, you're right. He says, "I'll get some footmen and we'll get it down to the area." He sort of goes off and leaves you two there. It's real on top of it, Butler here.
So I want to ask Sybil, have you seen the horrors of war in America? How is it like over there? I've never been.
I've seen photos. Nothing up close.
I asked because you were just digging around the dead body's hands like you do this stuff pretty often.
I assure you I don't. And then she will kind of take a moment and realize she was kind of functioning on autopilot earlier. And then she will realize what she has done and what is in front of her. And then she will vomit. And then
Oh yes, no.
Okay.
At the same window that Ivan did.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I guess you want.
Yeah. Do you make it? You want to go to that window?
yes.
Same window as I. Oh, I guess I was wrong. All right.
And now that you mention it,
Oh.
Oh, that is
Oh,
a
wait. Oh wait. This paper. Oh right. I touched a dead man's hand to.
I mean, if you're from Detroit, it's like just Tuesday. No offense to Detroitans or anything.
full offense to people from
Full offense. I want you to leave here crying if you're from Detroit.
Anyway.
Sorry, writing one more secret message. Talk amongst yourselves.
Among us.
you being sus right now.
No. Anyway. So I guess the next plan is this is Lord Corse's house, and as coarse as he is, he should know.
Of course.
Of course. I'm the one next to be killed, huh?
It
No,
should
Philip
be.
doesn't kill the
For
people we
making
want to
that
die.
point.
We don't know that yet. We haven't seen him.
He's just off being a dick to Gladys. Early morning tormenting starts crack of dawn.
Meanwhile, down in Zeus, Ivan, you come in. The Marchioness says, "Oh, you shouldn't be here this early. It's not unusual for Joseph to check on me at this time. Oh, but have you heard of what happened?"
Yes. How aware are you of the situation?
I just know
My
that
dear.
a man has been killed. That awful Slicket. What happened?
He's a
Yeah.
bitch for sure. She did it somehow.
Have you seen him?
Unfortunately, yes.
Oh, you poor thing.
It's fine, my
Oh.
dear.
Yes.
I was built of sturdier stuff.
Oh.
Oh, you certainly are. I know that you have a hard constitution. Not now. Ah. Not now. Oh.
I just wanted to know what you heard. What has been going on? It's just that the main Slicket has perished.
Yes.
Do you know where is everyone else safe in the house?
Oh, we should. Yes, tell a servant we need to check on everyone, make sure everyone's accounted for.
Yes. While we're getting there, I just wanted to ask you. You were up late last night. Did you hear anything?
No, just the sound of your heart beating.
Yes, of course.
And then,
But anything besides that?
well, a lady wouldn't speak of some of the other things I heard.
All right. Well.
Nothing
Leave it at
suspicious,
that.
if that's what you mean. But I'm a very heavy sleeper, especially after I've been so exhausted.
Oh yes, of course.
I'm disturbed.
Oh, you're not in there, so it's fine.
I
Has
I'm
a
the
feeling in her
person-
trick knee.
So just go ahead, Ivan, if you have more to say.
When I was heading back to my room, I heard some raised voices. Did you know anything about this?
Oh, no. Raised voices, no.
It's fine. It must be now.
Oh.
Just a late night argument among family men.
She kind of grabs your hand and says, "Yes, but you mustn't. You can't say anything that would imply that you. Where did you hear them?
Why is that important?
Well, you don't want anyone to know where you were in the middle of the night."
Well, I simply heard them from outside my door.
Ah, well then that's all right. Oh dear. Oh my. Oh my. Meanwhile, Dr. Gordon. Actually, at this point, you guys hear like footmen are being sort of sent around. Ivan, do you deliver that message to check on everyone?
What message?
Do you deliver her? She asked basically to tell the servants to make sure everyone's accounted for in the house.
Yes, I will deliver that to somebody that I know. I assume I know one of them by name, but I'll just call on them. The Marchioness requests that we check on all of the members of the family and the guests.
So they sort of you basically all of you hear sort of footsteps doing. Sybil, you've now stepped out of the room. Doctor, you're in the room alone with Slicket. Baroness, you're in the study. Ivan. So basically everyone's alone. Convenient. Doctor, are you leaving that room? Or are you staying in there for any amount of time?
Nah, I'm leaving it for the footman to handle.
Okay, cool. So as you step out, you find Sybil as she's kind of trying to compose herself. Both of you hear a door sort of closing and a heavy sigh up ahead on this third floor.
Alright.
Sybil would look while wiping the last bit of vomit off of her lips.
You have to kind of walk around the sort of corner there, but you do see Norman sort of just standing kind of in heavy thought outside the door of Hades.
Norman, are you all right? Do you need a moment?
Oh no, I'm fine. I just I can't seem to find Lord Corse anywhere. He kind of excuse me.
Hades, ow, bitch. Hades Is it understood that Hades is like his room and he sleeps separately from his wife?
It is not understood. It is not widely
Okay.
understood, but make an intuition roll.
That's the D12, actually. 12! Oh, I love this die.
Was it a 12?
Yeah.
You know what's awesome about
A plus,
a 12?
A plus.
This
A
is the
plus.
same as that you just rolled a 5. You pass either way.
Mhm,
Sybil,
100%, yeah.
Sybil, you it is not widely known or understood, but you kind of the way he's just coming out of that room and the way he kind of looked up, well, you weren't there when Ivan, but you kind of just get the sense you're like, got it. He sleeps up here because who would sleep next to that gargoyle? He's the gargoyle, I mean. His wife is very vivacious, as Ivan can tell you. Anyway, yeah.
So Sybil would kind of walk up closer to him so as not to like be shouting across
Yes.
the hallway or anything. But Norman, I do believe that today is a very odd day and we can drop all pretenses.
No, not
This is Lord Corse's room, I assume,
Lord
separate
Corse.
from the...
Lord Corse often does spend his time in this chamber. Dr. Gordon, you're up here as well.
And he was not in that room just now?
He's not there now, no.
Does he typically wake up earlier than this?
He typically does not.
All right.
Sybil will get a
the
sinking
door.
feeling in her stomach,
Mhm.
and she will finally ask, Norman, is there a door to the balcony through that room?
Yes, the cantilevered balcony is the main private sort of feature. For whatever reason, well, Lord Corse had the house remodeled and this chamber made for Hades for himself. This used to be another part of a gallery that anyone could come up and look at, but he wanted the view all to himself.
Sybil will go incredibly pale.
Sorry, he's saying all of this in present tense. He prefers the
Yeah,
view
yeah.
to himself, yes.
Sybil will go incredibly pale and say, kind of just to herself, it wasn't a dream. And she will push past Norman
Oh, we're done.
And-
Yeah.
and go out to the balcony and look
Miss Wilson.
outside.
Okay, so you walk into Hades. Hades, there's no saving throws, but I actually do want you to make like an intuition
saving throw?
roll for me. It's almost
Make a dex
throw.
saving throw to dodge the poison darts.
Just make an intuition roll. That's kind
Suddenly
of your
Indiana
spirit
Jones.
or your sort of stuff.
11.
11. So basically, Sybil, you walk in, and it's striking in this room because like sort of like directly across the way, basically like right at the top of. Are you looking at the map of it?
I am now.
Okay, yeah.
Said that.
So like just above the D of Hades, like directly across the door in the middle of the room, there is a massive statue of like Hades, of like the god of the dead, looking like marble, just like blah, looking like, yeah, I'll judge a fucking soul. And it's grim. The room, there is a bed on the sort of southern wall of the room. There's a large sitting area kind of in like the northern corner. There's a little bar area the northeastern corner has a sitting area. The northwestern corner of Hades has like a bar. And the doors to the balcony, they are closed. As you walk up to them, Sybil, you do, however, notice there's a good bit of like water stains inside the doors.
Okay. Noted.
Um,
She will go outside.
You can open the doors. It is pouring down rain.
Is
Doctor,
it
what
is.
are you doing? Have you gone into the room after her?
Yeah, I'm going in after her.
So you see the same thing. There's this big statue of Hades, bed to one side, kind of like a sitting area in one area, and like a wet bar in the other, and a door to a bathroom. That door is open. You assume Norman glanced in it. Sybil you're going out into the balcony?
Mhm.
So Sybil
Did you
walks
see
out
Miss
just getting
Wilson?
pelted with rain. Dr. Gordon, are you joining her, or are you just sort of staying inside?
Yeah, I'll join her. Another set of clothes ruined by the rain.
I'm sure that the servants already took care of her, took care of your old they dried it and cleaned it and everything.
So as
But you'll be ready. Right.
Baroness just really loves having these servants around. It's like, oh shit.
I've had watched a lot of Downton Abbey. I know happy.
Well, the servants, no one's doing a good job this morning on account of the. So
yeah.
basically, Dr. Gordon, if you sort of walk out there, sort of like following behind her, Sybil, you're out in the balcony. It's just pouring rain. It is this like, it's a pretty like dizzying view because you realize just how high you are, and like, the balcony in this weather is kind of doing this slightly. Because it's just like it's just a kind of balcony. There's not really supports.
So
under
she will slowly kind of, because she does feel uneasy on it, so she will slowly go onto it.
Okay. It's a massive balcony. It runs the entire width of the house.
She's not looking at the width. She's just going to the.
So basically, you go down. You sort of look down into the sort of waters and the spray crashing up. There's a rocky kind of thing. It's also very dizzying to look sort of over the line. There's the surf is rough. It's hard to really see anything amidst it from this height. Go ahead and make a physical roll. That's what your eyesight is.
I got a 4, so I'm going to use an aha point.
Okay.
Oh shit! I forgot to.
With a 5.
I turned in my extra credit, and I believe I'm
my extra credit. With this extra credit, I believe I'm getting a passing grade for the semester. As you glance down, you see a dark shape on the rocks.
I also support her and look down as well.
Make a physical roll.
Is it 8 for me? 7. Yep, I see it too.
You guys both see kind of a dark shape.
Yep, those aren't the rocks. All right.
Yeah. Sybil will kind of. She'll say to the doctor, Doctor, I don't believe any of us in this house are safe anymore.
I'm afraid that might be the case.
And then she'll go inside.
Okay.
Is Norman there?
Mm-hmm. She kind of like frowns as you are now just tracking a bunch of water into the room, like, yes,
Norman, I believe
The Lord of the Manors on the rocks.
Of course, yes.
Oh, I'd thought it. I see. On the rocks, you think, and he sort of goes down, sort of like starts running down the stairs out. What do you two do?
Well, I don't think I have much more changes of clothes. I'll do my last change of clothes.
Ivan walks out. Marchioness, he's talking to the servant. Marchioness is asking to make sure all of the family is safe.
Yes, of course. Yes.
And I'm
what appropriate timing to ask that question.
Yes. He sort of like calls for a footman, and in fact, you guys notice like at this point
emergency meeting.
At this point, Joey has emerged. Reginald is still yawning. Alicia, Gladys, Vivian are there. Alicia sort of mentions that Odette is fine. I mean, she's still, she's fine. She was,
comparatively.
They haven't told her about this stuff, but Alicia, and so only the two of you know about sort of Norman's stuff. Norman makes his way down to the ground floor. Are Sybil and Austin, are you guys following? Or are you gonna just stay with the other people?
I would stay with the other people, really.
I guess stay as well.
And we'll just gather up everyone and...
Sybil's probably not gathering anyone. She's probably just not catatonic, but she's just sitting down.
I come up to him. Is there something wrong, Miss Wilson? You look.
All right. Do we have a button here for an emergency meeting? Let's call it.
In fact, Alicia says yes. Let's everyone. Let's all go and gather in the perhaps in this sitting room somewhere more intimate. And she kind of everyone's being gathered and the Marchioness is now
I
coming
don't know that
downstairs.
that's.
Why not?
Uh,
This is clearly an emergency. We need.
Yes, but it is also a family matter. Perhaps the family should be informed.
Informed of what? I say, walking up.
Ah, I don't know if I'm. There's
All right.
She
What
will
happened? It
whisper
seems
to
like-
Ivan, there is another body that.
Is it just the three of us here, or did we call the meeting together?
There's a what?
There's
Did he say what?
I'll say that thing can be just the three of you as everyone else is like making their. You guys are like on the second floor landing as everyone's kind of going downstairs.
I'll say.
I believe Lord Corse went over the balcony.
Oh my God.
I'll say.
Ivan, you don't have to stay in character all weekend.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Sybil, you actually.
We've got a situation on our hands, and everyone needs to know what's going on here.
Yeah, I think maybe now isn't the
It's too
greatest time
important
for
to worry
an
about
act.
anything about tact.
Yeah.
So Joey sort of is like, what's going on? It sounds is Slicket really dead?
All right, everyone, gather around.
Oh,
We've
Lord,
got
you all
news.
sort of you kind of all make your way into the sitting room. Sybil, are you stepping away on any errands, or are you staying with
Is
everyone?
anybody collecting the Baroness?
And I guess
Yes, the Baroness will be she'll be checked on and collected by a footman.
the only errand, quote unquote, she would do is go into her room and get
Yeah. So do you want to do that, or are you going to just go with the group for now?
do that. But I mean, it wouldn't take long. She knows exactly where her
Yeah.
note is.
So you go up to your room. So as Sybil's walking, so we cut to Sybil walking up to her room as the door to Odette's room opens, and Odette is kind of like coming out like very like unsteadily. Sybil. Is everyone coming downstairs? I need to speak to everyone downstairs. She's like holding herself on the
I
wall.
believe they are. Yeah, she will try and steady her. But
Thank
yes,
you.
everyone is going downstairs.
All right. Perhaps you'll walk down with me.
If you can wait just a moment, I just need to grab something out of my room.
I'm not going anywhere. She sort of leans against the wall.
And Sybil will rush in. And yeah.
She kind of comes out, and so you can kind of help her down the stairs. I guess Margaret Circle comes out like, "Oh blimey, I don't know if she needs to be going down at this, but I've now been called to scrub up some things I don't know about. So if the young miss is feeling a bit better, that's all right for her to go with you, etc., etc."
Fucking what?
That was just Margaret Circle.
I
That was
don't
just
know- I didn't
Margaret
understand
Circle
it when he-
being Margaret Circle.
It's
Margaret
like
Circle
in the middle of a.
He probably just
big,
confessed
serious-
to a double homicide, and I'll
Good
never
old
know because
Margaret.
it was unintelligible to me.
I don't confess to nothing other than always working too hard and being
I
too
don't
kind.
shit.
That's in my charge I am. Margaret Circle's my name on account of I'm round. It was a tease and it caught on.
God, fucking
Count if I'm round.
On account of I'm round I am. But I've turned it to me and I say that the gentlemen down at the public house, they enjoy the round ones if you ask me. They do. Anyway,
Now I'm imagining like a serious Kenneth Branagh movie with all the players, and in the background there's this one Irish character.
God blimey, I dumped over the coals above my head, I did. I'm smoking, I am. So
Anyway,
so
All
basically
right,
we'll
so-
say that the last people to arrive in the room are Sybil with Odette, which Alicia kind of stands up and says, "What? No, that."
all right.
Am
Roll
I
call.
am I in the room?
You are in the room.
I guess I made my way there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A footman came for you.
Right.
So
Roll
basically,
call
everyone's
from
in the room.
youngest to
Dr.
oldest.
Gordon, were you? It sounded like you were taking charge. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I guess I'm the professional here, I suppose. All right, so we've got Miss Sybil and Odette, Sybil Wilson. Sorry. What is it? Reginald, Lord Joseph. I'm gonna assume Immortal Ivan's actually the oldest of this, considering you're immortal.
Oh,
Do you say that to me, or
No, I'm just saying that like under my breath, I guess. Then we
Ancient
got
one.
the other three daughters with us, Alicia, Vivian, and Gladys.
Gladys and the Marchioness is
Are
here as well.
Marchionessa and Baroness. That's
And now
all of
Odette
us.
is here with Sybil, if you did
And
not say
Odette.
her. Yeah.
Yep, that accounts for everyone that we know of being alive. All right. As you might have surmised, Tom Slickett is no longer with us, and neither is your. I point to the 4 children, your father and your grandfather.
That
Oh,
gets
my
a
goodness.
huge reaction from everyone.
He told them, of course, was dead.
He told him the horse was dead.
No longer with us.
The reft of life.
You leave in this
The Marchioness is
weather?
like, oh,
How
my
is that
husband!
possible?
Alicia sort of stands up and says, what are you talking about? Where is he? Where is he?
At an unknown time, it appears he fell off of the balcony, unless you know of the time, Sybil. Or Miss Wilson. Apologies.
She turns to you, Sybil.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make it sound like you were at cause, but it seemed like you knew.
But you did, Doctor. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I believe sometime between let me double check my mental notes. Just thinking back in my memory, not
my
reading
mind
anything.
palace?
So before midnight and sometime after I got back to my room after checking on Odette.
All right, that's.
Wait, why do you think that? Why? What are you talking about, Sybil? And Odette says, what do you mean? And she sort of sinks into a chair.
I thought it was a dream, but it felt like there was a shadow that fell past my window last night. I assumed it was just a trick of the storm and went back to sleep.
You hear Gladys softly say, Nemesis. Alicia says, okay, did you hear anything else?
Wait, who said that? Vivian or?
Gladys said it.
Nemesis with a shiver.
Before that, I heard arguing. I don't know who or of what. He was arguing.
Everyone's like, George is like, who'd you hear?
I believe I just said I don't know who or of what.
Okay, well,
All right.
It was muffled. It was a floor above me. The doors were closed. I was tired.
was
I
a
was
storm.
exhausted. It had been a long day. I
Understandable.
don't know.
And in addition, I inspected Tom Slickett's body. He was stabbed with a knife wound, and the approximate time of death was
Sybil will.
9 to 2 a.m.
Ivan also goes.
Tandem hurling.
Given the time frame, it appears that if there was a scuffle and whoever offed Lord Course would have had the chance to also get Tom Slickett there.
so someone is... Joey's like, so we have a serial murderer on our hands.
Until there's a pattern, I wouldn't call it a serial murder, but yes, there's someone who has at least
So you-
murdered twice.
We're saying someone here, or
Amongst
one of the
us.
servants, or
That I do not know.
that man you insisted stay, that man from the village.
Huh. That's right, is he still here? He
Yes,
wasn't
you
accounted
said
for.
you had him put him on the servants' room, and Joey's like getting like kind of freaked out, and he rushes out of the room.
That's right.
Actually, we'll say Reginald goes with him.
Oh, I'm guessing Lord Joy is now the head of the household. He is the new what is it, the title? Count?
Primogeniture. Lord
Yeah.
Marches.
Marches.
Marquess.
Marquis.
The Marchioness says, "Yes, the title will pass to him, although yeah.
We have bigger problems to worry about, I suppose. So, let's
Alicia says, "None of that matters right now. Dad, you should not have been here. This is, I didn't want you here this weekend. And now this is, I can't believe how right I was to."
Alicia, right?
This is Alicia saying this. Yeah, she's just like this.
Alicia, why are we here this weekend?
We never got around to establishing that, huh?
That is a good question. I have had suspicions about. I must see my father. She
The
sort of
servants are
just-
gathering. Norman's
she-
gathering him.
She walks out of the room.
Can I go up to Sybil? Did you hear those two people? Did it sound like a man and a woman to you?
It might, maybe.
I happened to hear some stuff too. So
Did you? Where were you? How could you have heard it?
I couldn't sleep. I was walking around a little bit at night. Before I went back into my room, I heard.
Not shady.
Can I have some sort of roll on this? Let's see, what do I have? Intuition,
On-
deduction.
You're not
Did you
hearing
hear?
any of this.
I believe he
Oh,
was being that to
I'm not
Sybil
there?
Wilson.
I'm just saying it to Sybil,
He's
like,
saying
and
Oh,
as an
okay.
aside.
quietly just to Sybil.
I
okay.
couldn't. I
Unless
couldn't
it
make it
eavesdropping.
out, but I did hear arguing. But I don't know who. I assume it was one of the two dead, if not somehow both.
Yeah, but I could have sworn I heard a woman. And there's no woman dead here, so
That we found.
I mean everyone's accounted for, right?
They're looking for the man from the village. We haven't taken stock of all the servants. I could be anybody.
Right.
And just because the woman isn't. Oh,
Servants are
no.
not people. Come on.
Ivan, you sound awfully familiar.
Wait, you didn't? We've met. John Steinberg, met at the bar on 4th Street.
Shut the fuck up.
Is she just shouting this? What the?
Yes, she
Yeah,
was shouted
everyone
that part.
is as if you say that, I will roll an intuition saving throw for the Marchioness. Hold on. Oh, ma!
Apologies, Martinez. I'm sorry. That
Very
was,
unladylike.
yes, it was very inappropriate of me. I do
Talking
apologize.
like a sailor.
Bad
Oh,
timing.
my
and
goodness.
gender. Yes, I understand.
Wait, did you really not know it was me? I thought you were fucking with me the whole time because you knew.
How, John? How?
Ivan,
Oh.
please come to me. I require.
Yes, my dear, I will be right there. I will be right back. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Gladys is just sort of shaking her head, kind of crazily.
I'm just confused. It's like I turn
Vivian's
to the
looking.
children.
Vivian's looking.
Remaining
Like,
children. Do you need a moment, children?
Gladys says, "I suppose we should. Well, there's nothing to do now." Vivian is just like really quiet and kind of. Vivian seems very composed. She's just very quiet, sort of sitting off to the side.
Well, I guess once we find that driver,
Would the servants have brought me a towel by this point? Since I'm just,
talking wet still, probably.
Sure. And you also like ran into.
I
your
wouldn't
room,
have changed it.
And you ran into your room and grabbed something, so you could have, wiped off slightly as well then. But yeah, somebody
Okay.
will bring you a towel for your.
Okay.
Oh, I'll just wait. We'll just wait. I'll just wait for what is it? Was it Reginald and Joey went to fetch the driver?
Mhm.
So
I just want to mention Sybil before I run over to the I'm like, just don't tell the Marchioness. She doesn't know that it's not that it's an act.
All right.
Have a great time. That's fine.
Please,
Okay.
the vapors are upon me.
Hey, my dear, I'm here. Of course.
Husband has died. I don't understand.
So,
the driver.
yes,
Time skip since
a few
Reginald.
things will happen
Actually
here at
here.
this point. Actually, honestly, Doctor, we'll just for convenience sake,
Sure.
Norman will sort of show up, and he'll basically just be like, Doctor, I suppose, actually, can you,
What?
I suppose if you, could you come out and, could you please,
Okay. Sure. I don't think I changed, so this is still my wet clothes.
Yeah, you're still in your wet clothes. Does anybody join
Glad
him?
I didn't change.
Join him to.
The doctor is like being summoned for some reason. Or is anybody gonna go?
Oh,
with him?
if he's being summoned, I wouldn't.
Okay, cool. So sort of Norman leads you, Doctor. So you're with Norman. He leads you. Actually, he'll lead you out of the sitting room into the ballroom. Nah, they wouldn't journey the solarium. That's a much closer thing. No, he'll take you through the back hall, out the kitchen door, then back around the house to sort of that area.
Over the river, through the woods.
Through the river to
Grandma's house would go.
Lord Corse's corpse we go. As he brings you out, you see that like just maybe like 10 feet or so like beyond the house, it just becomes like super steep rocks and kind of down there. And he sort of says, "Do you think you'll be able to sort of traverse this, Doctor?"
Can't be worse than. Was I in Normandy? I don't think I was in Normandy. Can't be worse than the Western Front, so I'll proceed down.
There's a couple of footmen down there a ways, and so you can actually make a physical roll to get down there to them.
All right, that's a D8 for me. 4, but I'll use my excess aha point.
Excess aha point. So you nearly slip, but you kind of manage to kind of get down as you're eureka! I should put my foot here, and you do in fact find the corpse of Corse. Go ahead and make a medical examiner roll for me.
All right. 7 and 3, so just a normal pass.
The footmen are like waving gulls away, although there are probably not too many gulls flying around at this time anyway with the rain. But Corse's body's there. His head is like pretty darn cracked open. Like he's very and part of the problem is that with the rain pounding down, like it's hard to tell like impact or if he moved. His body is even moving somewhat like in like the high surf that comes
Time
up,
of death
you know?
Impossible to determine just on a cursory glance. Impossible.
It's going to be impossible to determine like where he fell from. That being said, he's pretty darn far out. So you would imagine that he died on a first impact, and it doesn't seem like he's you don't think he like bounced or anything. So you think he probably fell like pretty
Onto the
far.
rock.
And as you sort of glance up at the cantilevered balcony, it juts out, like several feet. But then there are these like extra projection railings that kind of stick out from it.
Right.
And it almost seems like he would have needed to fall from one of those, not just from the balcony.
Or was thrown?
Doctor, you suspect he could not have been thrown.
Okay.
Not by any one of us, at least. It would have taken some real strong man to yeet him
Yeah.
that far.
That
Could
being said,
not have been thrown.
he probably could not have been thrown off the balcony. He was probably out on a thing. This is what the
'Cause-
doctor's thinking.
So the balcony
That being
is like
said,
over here and still some distance.
it's still possible he fell off and maybe was pulled down by the surf. You simply, there's no way to tell. He's been if what Sybil's saying that he fell before midnight, there's that's 7 hours at this point of just the waves and the wind,
Right.
Beating the body down the thing. He definitely has like numerous abrasions, and such things all over him.
Okay. Yep, he is 100% dead.
Well, he's dead. Alicia is kind of up on the
Job's
back
done
at the
here.
house, sort of like
Another day in.
watching
the
all
job.
of this. You kind of like passed by where she was watching, but at this point,
Marchesa?
Alicia is kind of like calling down to you. It's very hard to hear her, but she's saying, "It is him."
What? It is your father, yes. But I'm shouting that because she probably can't hear me over the way.
He's dead!
Your father. Exactly.
Super fucking dead.
So,
Bro, he got
Alicia
fucked!
kind of
He's dead, Jim.
kind of like puts a hand against the building. Norman helps her in. Dr. Gordon, I guess if you want to, you could sort of oversee the footmen and help them with just
Yeah.
getting the body back up to the house.
If they need some extra hands, I'll
Yeah.
help as well.
And you can also
Drag
be
him
like,
up.
don't drag him face down. There's still some stuff I can try to look in. There's a lot of like dragging head hit on a rock, etc. So we'll go back into the room with everyone else.
We're not gonna call Monty Python with his
Yeah.
body just being battered. All right, so now my clothes are extra ruined now.
Yeah,
'cause
but
now
at least
there's
it's just the same ones you put on this.
at least.
Okay. So, Baroness, Ivan, Sybil, you are there with the Marchioness, Odette, Vivian,
I'm fanning her.
Gladys. This is all too much. Gladys says, I almost can't believe that he's gone. And that poor Slicket man, he seemed so angry. She turns to you, Sybil. You saw the body.
Maybe
I
they killed each other.
Hmm?
They seemed very cross with each other. I can imagine that maybe that strange little Slicket man pushed the cloud course off the railing, and I don't know, maybe he got stabbed in the struggle.
And then he wandered all the way to the different room and died there.
We didn't see any
Perhaps
signs. We didn't
he
see any
was-
trails of blood. There would've
She
been
hasn't
trail of
been in
blood if
there.
that happened. I was though, so I'm explaining. There
But
wasn't
you're
a
not
trail of
there.
blood. Oh, I'm not there.
You're not here.
there
You're
yet?
out with the body.
Sybil is.
Yeah.
Never mind.
I don't know about. There must have been someone with Lord Course before I went out to the balcony. There were water stains, I don't know, on the inside of the balcony doors. Someone must have come in after him.
It's
Before
all
him,
very
I don't know.
strange.
Vivian just kind of. Yes, it's a dark morning. We will do a little time skip here unless anyone has anything specific they want to do.
She just wants to look at the notes.
Understood. Actually, yes, Sybil, if you sort of kind of like go to a quiet corner. So this is kind of happening in view of everyone. I will say, no roll is required to determine. It is the same paper.
What's the same paper?
You don't know yet.
The mysteries on mysteries.
Mysteries on mysteries. And the biggest mystery of all, where is the Nemesis statue?
All I care about.
Shoved up Lord Course's ass.
So, as you guys sort of, we'll say a bit of time comes in, Dr. Gordon, actually everyone will tell you to come to the dining room. The servants have put out a bit of food for you all to eat. Not that really any of the courses are in a mood to eat. Reginald and Joey return, and Mario can test this later, I guess, but Joey kind of walks in and goes, all right, good news, he's tied up.
Who is tied up?
You did you find him that way, or did you do that to him?
No, we tied him up.
Ooh,
You have. Why?
Because he. Oh my God! We found the killer.
Who? Are you
Really?
saying that the driver is the killer?
Yes.
And you're sure?
Based
Sorry.
off of-
Yes, he's tied up.
Based off of what are you saying that he's the killer?
Based off of the. Oh, we left. Hold. Come on. He kind of gestures to you guys. He leads you to the killer's. Sort of basically, he leads you like into the servants' quarters, out the. You guys, it's like up the back stairs case. All this stuff, but the servants' quarters are up there on the top floor, just kind of like separated by a wall, sort of inaccessible from the rest, other than the single servant entrance. You go into one of the servants' quarters where there is a man, like, pretty poorly tied up. but he's still like recuperating from his concussion and just like,
I'm not
So-
impressed.
what?
Ivan is not impressed by the not work.
Yeah, Ivan's like, "Pfft, wake me when it's a triple hitch starshine.
Yeah, exactly.
So as he, but this guy's tied up and he's like, I don't know, my head hurts so bad. I don't even know what to say and I'm dead. And he goes, see, and he points, and there is a bloody piece of paper sitting on a little table in this room. It is
We'll look at it.
Sybil, it is stationary. It is an invitation in the hand of Lord Corse, just like the one that you received.
Does it the piece that I took from Slicket's hand, I guess, is there a piece missing from this one?
There is not.
But there's who is this note addressed to?
It is addressed to Tom Slicket, and it is an invitation to a weekend at Corse Court. One with vague, I'm not going to read the full thing, but it makes vague kind of menacing references kind of like between the lines of like how we all wear many faces, and you know like I wonder, you know, like what new names we might have. Make an intuition roll, Sybil. Actually, you can use your criminal intent. You can use your Law and Order criminal intent.
My vibe
for
check.
this. Yeah.
Oh, that's a 9 and a 1. Thank God that was a twofer. So yeah,
It's good to have.
I
a two.
passed.
You strongly suspect that Tom Slicket was not this guy's real name.
Yeah, I was already kind of thinking that honestly, but I had no.
Yeah.
All right.
It does sound like a made-up name.
Yeah, yes, and I'm sure you
Says
would
I
know
am the
all about
immortal.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. This. How. Driver, how did you get this note in your room?
Oh, I don't know. I just woke up and they was tying me up. There was. Also, I smell bread a little bit. Is anyone baking bread? That's too dark. Never mind. He's not having catatonic brain.
God.
Yeah.
Oh
he's,
God, no.
he's like, no, he's just really groggy. Like,
Dr. Gordon is the one that said he had a concussion, right?
I believe you did, yes.
Reginald, I don't know. Joey, I don't know that he could have done it. The doctor himself said he had a concussion last night. I don't know how anyone could kill 1 or 2 people with a concussion.
Where did you find this paper?
It was here.
On this table.
And Joey sort of says to you, Sybil, believe me, I know that women don't know anything about faking things, but men are very
Joey.
good at being deceptive.
Oh, Joey.
Oh, Joey.
Oh boy, we have the next victim here, man.
Point being, he, I'm sure he could have, in a blind rage, snuck around and killed Slicket. Maybe Slicket owed him money from a card game or something. I'm just spitballing here.
I just want you to repeat that sentence back to me. In a blind rage, he snuck around.
Oh, good point. In a blind rage, he happened to move silently as he traipsed around.
It's not getting better.
Yeah. Well, he's faking then. You're faking, aren't you? I'm faking. I don't know what either of you are talking about. He's just.
If he's faking his concussion, then you're accusing the doctor of being in on it. Or of being a poor doctor.
He turns to the doctor and says,
I'm just walking in here all sopping wet.
Are you?
I do not need my skills.
My honor impugned.
insulted
Are you sure
right
that?
now.
But are you sure that he has a concussion still? Maybe the concussion wore off.
That's not how concussions work. I mean,
I just know that there's a stranger in the house.
I'm just gonna
and there's-
repeat what Immortal Ivan says. That's not how concussions work.
All I know is
trust me, I've had a few.
last night we took 2 men. Last night we took a man into the house after he got into a car crash with my niece. And then 2 men wind up dead, one of whom is my father.
I understand the circumstances are suspicious, but I don't know how
Right in the
this
middle of
man
servants'
could
quarters,
have
there's a lot of
plunged a knife
witnesses, right?
into Slickett.
What possible motive could this
You guys are
random
probably
guy-
really in the servants' quarters hallway at this point.
So there, if
I don't know.
did I just
Of course,
am I,
or for
did I
Slickett.
make it there with my stopping wet clothes?
You're up here as well. It seems like Baroness, are you here as well?
Probably not.
Then we'll just say it's you guys and Joey. Reginald, we'll say that Reginald didn't go up. He's like, yeah, there's a guy tied up there. He just kind of dude and was like,
No.
I can't. I'm not telling him no because his dad just died, but okay.
So, I think how it worked is I walked in sopping wet after looking at Lord Course. I see Reginald and saying, "Okay, what's up with the driver?" And he said, "Now I'm walking up here."
Is Norman up here, or any of the servants up here?
Make a luck roll.
A 2.
A 2. Nope, it's empty except for. Oh, don't mind me, darlings. I just got to get my. I got to change me unmentionables,
No,
Andy.
Margaret.
Ah.
Can you ask some of the servants to bring this man down, possibly untied, to the sitting room?
All right. I'll find something.
Or-
She just kind of wanders off to do that.
Were there at least witnesses amongst the servants that he didn't move around? Because there's a lot of possible witnesses here.
A very good
Would
point.
be
You guys
very
can certainly and tell you what. We'll so
Someone
did you-
must have been with him because someone was with Odette all night.
Well, they didn't really care about this guy's well-being as much. However,
Yeah,
we
there's
will sort of skip
possible.
forward quickly. In games like this, you can like pretty quickly like learn. The servants will tell you that no one heard this guy leaving last night.
Okay.
No one heard like, they like the servants were like, well, we were sleeping obviously, but like nobody heard like a loud guy moving. So if he moved,
Sybil-
he's very quiet.
Sybil will take the bloody note that's up here,
Okay.
and go downstairs.
All right.
And then
Are
I'll
you gonna
just do
leave this
one
guy
more-
up here?
I'm doing one more check.
Well, she told the servants to bring him down, I guess, because even though we don't have any evidence, everyone is a suspect at this point.
Okay, cool. Go ahead, doctor.
Just
make
to
another
sure
medical
we
check.
get the sheet. 12 and 1, so just pass.
A plus. What are you talking about?
If there was 2 12s, that'd be double A plus.
10 out of 10, or 12 out of
He's-
12.
Eh.
He's gonna need 7 to 10 days of like not getting hit in the head again. Then
Right,
it'll be
right.
pretty good. So he's
And
still
I'll-
definitely concussed.
I'll say he's in no shape to do any strenuous activities, but he can at least join us just to make sure he's not alone.
Sure, he'll just kind of come down.
Couldn't we be like checking the rooms, like Slickett's room or whatever his name was?
One step at a time, Ivan.
Just call me John. It's fine.
Jonathan.
But not in front of
John,
the.
just John. Not in front of the Martian. It's not.
Okay. Very well.
Joey
John.
goes, "What?
Don't worry about it, kid.
What? Now that's a magic trick." All right, come on, prisoner, and he leads the guy down.
As he walks
Hey,
away,
hey,
is
hey.
he always this stupid? Or?
It's part of his charm, unfortunately. Yes.
I guess I
Don't
can see
deal with
that,
medical
yeah. It is
patients
a bit of
so roughly.
endearing.
Remember, he was helping out your niece. I believe that's the yeah family
What?
tie.
Talking to Joey about the driver.
Talking to Joey about the driver.
So you all gather. Baroness, are you? Actually, why don't you chat me if you've been doing anything in this time? No, wait, you're with the others, so you can the camera.
Actually, Baroness is probably saying, "Oh, I couldn't eat a bite," and then goes and has a really big
Yeah,
breakfast.
exactly. All right, so
I need my
I
strength.
couldn't eat a bite out of this.
the Marchioness is like, I suppose
My dear, you need your strength.
I can't even
Have some
believe
eggs.
that this has happened.
Well,
All right. Come down to the dining hall. Just get me a coffee and bread, I suppose. Toast. 'Cause I'll need this.
Very good. Joey kind of like brings in the tied up guy who's at this point the knots have fallen off of him anyway, and he's just kind of walking. And he's
Don't
like,
treat him
"Oh,
too
food,
roughly."
that looks good. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Everyone here, including the driver now.
Uh-huh.
Do we want to name this NPC?
His name is Arthur.
Make him
no one's
important?
asked.
Arthur? Okay. So you already did come up with the name. Okay. So I say, I would have asked the driver what was his name just to make sure I'm calling him the right name.
You probably have been calling him the right name since
All
last
right,
time.
Mr. Arthur. Very well. All right. So as a summary, two of our guests are deceased, and Joseph here believes Arthur here, Mr. Arthur here, is the culprit. But I'll say here right now, Arthur couldn't have done that. Mr. Arthur couldn't have done that.
Then how did he have that bloody note?
Now that is a question, isn't it?
what bloody note? What are you talking about?
This
I found
bloody
this
note.
note.
She has it. Sorry. Yeah.
I found
Oh.
this note up in his room, but it wasn't surrounded by any other blood. It wasn't
Well,
crumpled. It was George Slickett's invitation to this weekend.
nobody could have put it there. It's pretty obvious. A man was out like at cold, like a fish.
It seems that Slickett was not his real name. I don't know what it was, and it seems that that was the blackmail that he was raving about all night.
Blackmail, huh?
What a strange man. Are you sure that he wasn't the one who killed our gracious host?
I
I mean,
That
he
is-
he looked like he had murder on his mind at
What,
dinner.
Slickett?
I don't know.
Slickett, you mean?
Slickett, yes.
No, that was impossible. Around
Why?
Slickett's body, there was no trails of blood. If they had wounded each other critically, they would have left a trail of blood from.
Well, someone must have pushed him off the balcony.
Well, maybe he pushed our host up the balcony and then, well, he stabbed himself in remorse.
That's not entirely impossible, I suppose.
If you're going to stab yourself, are you going to do it up here?
I'm not gonna ask how
Who
people
knows?
stab
He was such a
themselves.
strange man. I can't fathom what he was doing. Maybe he was on laudanum that makes people do strange things.
That would take a further autopsy to determine any other
Oh,
course of
that's
things.
oh my goodness. How dreadful. Cutting up a person. Oh,
Is the family here?
They're all
I believe
here.
we've all been gathered. Yes.
Alicia, I believe it's time that we're told the truth about why we're invited here.
Mr. Slickett suspected blackmail. That is certainly something I've often thought my father was guilty of. I do think she kind of like looks over and like her sisters and mother are just kind of like and so she says, I suspect that my father was bringing you all here to engage in mind games and general sadistic torments. He must have
strange
information
notion.
on all of you.
I cannot imagine what.
No one ever can, but he always finds something in everyone.
All of us?
I would imagine he at least thought he did.
Uh,
Did any of
He
the rest
must
of
have
you
been out
feel
of
you were
his
being
mind.
blackmailed, or
I
Me?
go, no, not me.
He must have a ledger where he keeps all his sordid secrets like that.
I would imagine up in his suppose we can search it. I understand why you might want to, but at the same time, as he's been murdered, perhaps if we don't believe that this gentleman here, she kind of gestures to Arthur, if we don't believe that this gentleman is the murderer, then it is likely someone here. You know, she kind of just looks at Gordon, Sybil, you know, Ivan, the Baroness, Reginald, and says, it's likely that either one of us or one of you killed my father. So.
Oh, maybe it was an accident. He was in a very strange mood last night.
That was not strange for him. His cruelty is often that way. But Dr. Gordon, you believe he was pushed off the balcony?
I do not believe he was. That's one possibility, yes. But he did fall from the balcony. If there was some foul play, or if it was an accident, perhaps he was.
Oh,
for
or
some
maybe
reason.
he stabbed Mr. Slickett and then, for some reason, climbed out on the balcony. He was rather many sheets in the wind, as they say.
I didn't hear that at all.
Was there anything to
He was drunk.
No.
place
I see.
Slickett in the room
We would
in the
have to
Hades suite?
we would have to look at and investigate that deeper in order to figure out.
He was the body was damp. Found it, right? It was wet.
Yes, it looked like it had at least been wet at some point.
Slickett's body? Was
Yes.
Yes.
Slickett's shirt
Oh, yeah.
seemed like it had been wet at some point.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Was there any?
Question. The note that was in his hand, was that wet?
That was not wet.
Was there any wetness on the inside of the room in the Hades suite? Anything to indicate that he was there?
Sybil, you did find I only mentioned because you already said to some people you did find.
Yeah. There was water stains on the inside of the balcony doors. Someone must have come back inside after pushing Lord Course.
Yes, that makes sense. If he had done that all on his own, he wouldn't have been there to close the door after himself, huh?
Indeed.
Hmm.
So perhaps there is more than one culprit. If it seems like Slickett was the one who killed Lord Course, but someone else was the one who killed Slickett.
That's
Dreadful.
a little bit of a stretch. It's very possible someone could have killed both. Maybe they were in the same place at the same time.
True. Or Slickett saw it happen and was killed to be silenced.
Perhaps, potentially. But I think the order of operations now is, I think I need to investigate both of the bodies just to try to glean as much information as possible. And two things we need to find. What did the Lord Course believe he had on any of us? That would have been a good motive for someone murdering him. And what are Slickett's effects, to give some clues as to his identity and see why he was here.
Indeed. I think, in fact, kind of with the doctor having this sort of, with the doctor having this kind of like needing to look at the bodies, and you all sort of having some goals of things to look over, we will say that we're gonna basically wrap things up here for the evening, with you wanting to sort of look at Slickett's room, find this possible evidence, Dr. Gordon's saying. I'm gonna mention that it's kind of like you all and Joey and Reginald sort of are stepping out, and sort of Alicia says, "Could someone please get Odette back up to bed? So Sybil, I don't
Oh,
know.
wait, but Odette wanted to tell us something. She had a purpose for coming down before
Alright,
she even knew of all this.
that's right.
No, I'd heard that there was. I didn't realize grandfather had died. I heard there was a death. That's all. I just wanted to know what was going on, and I felt a bit. She's eats a bite of her, whatever. I felt a bit stronger. No, I don't have anything to say.
Is there a memory roll? I feel like she said, "I have something to tell everyone."
She definitely
Not.
did.
Okay.
She's now
You're the
saying
only one
that
heard
she
that,
was-
so it's up to you if you want to press that or not.
Alicia says, "Oh, can someone please take Odette upstairs?"
Sybil volunteers.
Okay. Odette is led upstairs. The rest of you sort of go on. Joey and Reginald go out with you. Because they're not alone, I will end on the Marchioness, Vivian, Gladys, and Alicia, who all seem very sort of like freaked out and have sort of for a while here. Gladys says, "Perhaps we should tell them who Slickett is." And the Marchioness says, No. Hopefully there will be no indication he's anyone other than he says he is. They all sort of nod.
Do I hear that?
No, you've all gone. That's why they're saying it. And with that, we'll end the session.
Oh man,
As the course
what a
doctor
clue
said.
that we didn't hear or know about.
Yep.
Ah,
Very good. Well, there you go. Chapter 4. Now some things are happening. Now there's numerous little bits of intel, and people are like, ooh.
What is Hades? What is he doing up there, next to the servants' quarters?
A very
This
good
is-
question.
Being
Oh.
generally evil. I mean,
Hades is a very good game by Supergiant Games.
It
Good
is.
roguelike, very excellent.
It's a great game. Also, mythological figure.
Yeah, that too.
I guess Beritus, you did not hear this part, but Norman said, and I'll just go ahead and tell you this is the truth. When this guy took out, when this guy inherited this house, he's like, I'm gonna stay in this. He's like, this gallery up here, this gallery where everyone can come out and look at the sea and parties and have a wonderful time. Nope,
My room now.
my room alone now.
But it's also
Sounded
the
exactly
servants'
like that.
quarter up
No,
there.
no,
so
twirled
it's
his
really
mustache.
strange.
The servants' quarters are completely separated.
But it's the same level.
It's the same level, but it's completely walled off. See, there's no access.
Except for one hidden door. Well, not really hidden, but it's,
Yeah, no, just their
out
own
of the way.
access door to it. Yeah,
right.
but they have that on every floor.
Of course, they need to be able to get to every floor just in case something happens.
All right, well, very good.
Interesting.
I'm glad I can start to talk normally again.
You didn't have
Me
to
too.
Put on you didn't have to put on that accent in the first place, you know.
But my friend, the world is but a stage, and we are its
That's just
players.
like Philip.
and
at
it's
the
still
start
gonna
of
come out every
Pervidia.
time that woman's in the room, anyways.
Yeah, it's just Philip at the start of Pervidia. I have so many fucking NPCs. God damn it! You did this, man.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Are we still live? Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I'm just making some final notes. Fun times. Thanks so much for watching. This was super fun. I hope you guys are enjoying this kind of it's kind of a different vibe than a lot of RPGs. Not as much wild running around and you know what you won't see in this one are any druids wild shaping into owl bears.
Yet.
You saw the trailer. I
What trailer?
For the D&D movie.
The
Oh.
just the general I hate to use this word, but the discourse about it is just there's more than
There's
one
discourse?
worst thing in the world, and Twitter is one of the worst things in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Because first it's everyone being let me rush to make the joke of First thing I think watching this is, Druid can't wild shape into an owlbear. It's a monstrosity, not a beast. Then
God,
there's the wave of
everybody
like,
really stayed.
what?
Never mind. I'm sure.
Oh, so many tweets to that. Then the tweets become like, guys, like just watch the movie, okay? Like it's gonna be fun. Why does everyone have to do this? And most of the first people were joking anyway. Then the tweets become people being like, honestly, it is irresponsible of Wizards to put out something that doesn't depict rules as written. Because what you're doing is you're driving people away from the game when they come and try to play this and they're not allowed to. It is irresponsible of you to show something in your marquee property that you can't do in the game. It's so disrespectful to the DMs who already have to do so much work because Wizards puts that
You can do
inferior
it in
product.
the game. Your DBM allows you to.
I'm not even saying this. This is just me describing different.
I know. But
This
that's
is
the
Twitter.
thing.
Twitter is
Who's to
cool.
say?
I call it.
I swear I don't
Twitter.
go on Twitter. I saw that trailer. I'm like, this looks actually pretty fun.
Also, for
And then
a
that
long
was it.
time,
That was all I had.
for a long time, I was like, Twitter's garbage, it's bad. Then this guy named Elon Musk, who I don't know anything about, he was explaining that Twitter's full of bots. And I was like, oh, cool, there's robots on Twitter? Rad, we're in the future. So now I like Twitter.
Rad, we're in the future.
Twitter's only for retweeting anime artwork. I'll say it. That's the only purpose it has. Just retweet anime artwork, and it's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Well, that's our game tonight. Please go to our About page, see all the cool stuff our players do. Go to our Discord. You can see the fun stuff. We post recaps of our games and other things there. We have a game on Friday called Blood from a Stone. It's our horror game. They're currently in a sort of sci-fi horror milieu. It's been getting kind of like weird and intense, and I think a few people have had to like. It's been getting pretty like gross, but fun. And then on a Sunday, we have the stupidest thing we're ever going to do. And I'm so excited. It genuinely might just be me. I might not have
Are you seriously doing the one-man theater?
I don't know what's gonna happen. You're all invited to play in it if you wind up doing it. On Sunday, 7:30, we have the 18th annual Nathor Life Day pageant and fireworks spectacular presented by Mrs. Got It's Got It. So please come and join that. Think
Has
Muppet
literally
Show.
nobody said that they're coming.
What?
Has literally nobody.
I've got
said
no
that they're
takers for it. I also stopped asking after 1 week ago when everyone here said they wouldn't play. I was busy with Ray of Light, which happened on Sunday, which was interesting. That one was one character being Ray for basically 2 hours, talking to Pierce as R2-D2 and Dan as Chewbacca, and she would say something, and the response would be soundboard, soundboard, and she would be like, great, cool. It was delightful. So check us out on Sunday, and then I think Monday we might do another Just Chatting, or may have another one-shot there, and then a week from tonight come back for Chapter 5 of Murder by Murder, now that they're actually solving 2 murders. Did anybody know there were going to be 2 murders? You could be
Are
honest.
we really solving it?
Well, when we saw that Fliggett was dead, I was like, oh, they're both dead, because you specifically noted somebody was on the rocks
I think
yesterday. Or
I
last
thought
year.
it's
they
perfect.
better
There's
both
nothing to
be
solve there. I mean, it's perfect. They killed each other.
Yeah.
Let's go home.
You're like, there are 2 solutions, the simple and the complex. Let's go with the simple and have a good weekend.
I mean,
Hope Daniel
yeah.
Craig doesn't show up.
And why didn't Owette say what she was going to say? So that's
I
weird.
don't know. We weren't there to shoot that she had something to say, so it's up
Only
to
Sybil
to-
knows that.
Yeah, it's up to Sybil to
What a
suss
weird
that
thing.
out. Indeed.
Well, very good.
I'm gonna enjoy if Sybil turns out to be like this detective from America who's just been here to
Oh,
break.
I'm a
She's looking
Pinkerton.
for the Pinkerton, yes.
All right, well, very good, everyone. With that, we will sign off until next time. Finally, the game is afoot. Good night, everyone.
Bye bye.